Hey there, welcome to today's Sunday Smackdown. For today's video, I want to just quickly talk about the subject of women loaning men or giving men money in relationships. I was inspired to do this topic based on a video that Tony Gaskins placed on YouTube this past week stating, I believe the video is called Don't Loan a Man Money. And I'll link it below, this video, if you haven't checked it out. It got a lot of hits on Facebook and a lot of comments, primarily from women, and I was just really shocked or just like floored by a number of the statements that were made under the video. I agreed with a lot of the statements, but given how I feel on this topic, I thought I should address it on a Sunday Smackdown. Before I get started, definitely feel free to comment below your thoughts on this topic, share this video, like this video, thumbs up is always good, subscribe to this channel for more Sunday Smackdowns. I have plenty more on the way, so stay tuned for those. So Tony Gaskins in his video pretty much encouraged women not to feel the need to give money to men, to keep them in relationships and so forth. It really is, if you're going to give a man money, it should be like you're giving money to charity. Don't feel the need, any pressure in order to keep a man in your life, to give him money, to make him stay. And if a man is telling you, well, I need money for a business venture, or I need money for this or for that, it's like you're giving the money away. It's not like an investment in the relationship or anything like that. It does not contribute positively towards the health of a relationship or building their relationship. And it's really a matter of two people in a healthy relationship building the unit together, and it's not a matter of who makes more or any of that. But if a woman feels the need to give her resources away, especially when a man is taking advantage of her resources and so forth, it's just not the way to go. And you really should not stay in a relationship that has that kind of dynamic going. Before I actually tell you who I'm smacking down in this topic area, and you can probably figure out who it's going to be, I want to give you some stats on women and their financial resources and pretty much their place in the workplace, in the workforce today. On this article from the Pew Research Center, here are some interesting stats. Today's young women are starting their careers better educated than their male counterparts. Young working women today are also making more money relative to men their age than their mothers and grandmothers did. This is due not only to the rising earnings of women, but also to the falling earnings of men. In 2012, young women earned 93% of the average hourly wage of men the same age. Each new group of young women entering the workforce over the past 30 years has started out at a higher average hourly wage relative to men. So I say all this to say it's incredibly important to take into consideration what's happening in today's socioeconomic climate and what's happening with women and men in the workplace, in the workforce overall. Now, I do think that there are going to be, more studies coming out on this subject, especially around millennial men and women. But when you then narrow down into the topic of relationships and the dynamic between men and women in relationships, specifically around the topic of money, and also knowing the fact that finances plays a large part in how a relationship is doing. And finances is actually one of the top contributing factors as to why a number of relationships fall apart, why divorces happen, and so forth. So I actually really do appreciate Tony Gaskins' video encouraging women not to loan men money. You really do, as a woman in a relationship, want to heavily consider whether or not you feel taken advantage of, whether or not someone's pulling on you and your hard work and your effort to, do what they want to do and play around with the money and buy things and so forth, when you're the one that's like slaving away day in and day out to bring that money into the house. And if a guy is trying to live with you and so forth, or drive around in your car, those are also red flags, as Tony Gaskins mentioned, that you heavily want to think about. So who am I smacking down with all of this said? I'm smacking down, politely smacking down, the men who take advantage of women, the men that pull on their financial resources, the men that instead of getting their own and getting out into the workforce and trying to pull their own weight, not necessarily making equal to or more than the woman that they're with, but really just getting out there and earning their own money that they can contribute into the relationship, they're trying to pull on someone else. Please, I'm smacking all of y'all down, because really, you really do need to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and earn your own way in this world, as opposed to trying to take advantage of someone. Now, you may feel as a man that is doing that, well, okay, well, if the current girl that I'm with isn't going to contribute towards my lifestyle and my needs and my wants, there is some other chick out there that's willing to do that. Well, that's a really bad mindset. And I really do, you know, encourage women, if you feel like there's this guy that's approaching you, that's trying to take advantage of you, just halt it right there. Don't even consider the relationship, or if you need to put a halt on the relationship, I really encourage you to do so if that situation does not change. I'm not saying just break up, but have that conversation. If you're in a situation where someone's pulling on you, really talk to them and say, look, like, what can you do to pull your weight in this relationship, as opposed to you asking me for money from my bank account, or to, you know, do whatever it is so you can maintain your own lifestyle. It's really sad when women feel like they don't have a choice and they are, you know, put in a situation that makes them feel really uncomfortable. I think that, you know, oftentimes we feel like, well, there's really no one else out there. You know, this guy really supports me emotionally and in this way and that way, and he looks great and all of these different things. So yeah, this little factor about him wanting my financial resources, it's a small factor given everything else going on. But finance is such a huge factor in relationships. I'm not saying it's the only one, but given the fact that so many couples break up over that, and given the fact that this is a really messed up socioeconomic climate, and given all the statistics about women and men in the workplace, and also just taking into consideration all of the work that you did as a female, as a woman, to get to where you are, where you have the earning power that you do, you really want to put your foot down and draw the line where it needs to be drawn, so you feel comfortable in your relationship and you feel like it's a healthy one where both people are contributing and being able to pretty much take advantage of the resources that both people are pulling into the household together. So yeah, that's pretty much my video for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you in the next Sunday Smackdown. Have a good one.